Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today's verse, which we are about to reflect upon, is verse number 160 of Surah Al-Imran, that is chapter number 3. This beautiful verse, which we heard its magnificent recitation, says, إِن يَنْصُرْكُمُ اللَّهُ فَلَا غَالِبَ لَكُمْ. If Allah assists you, if Allah supports you, if Allah grants you victory, then none can overcome you. وَإِن يَخْذُلْكُمْ فَمَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَنْصُرُكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ. But if Allah forsakes you, then who else other than Him can support you, help you, or give you victory? The answer is, of course, known: none. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. And in Allah let the believers put their trust. This verse confirms the fact that victory comes only from Allah. And if Allah is to support you, no one else can overcome you. In the hadith, the Prophet ﷺ said to his cousin Abdullah ibn Abbas, may Allah be pleased with him and his father, وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ الْأُمَّةَ لَوْ اجْتَمَعَتْ. Be certain that if all people gathered against you to harm you with anything, they will never be able to harm you with anything unless if it was something that Allah has ordained for you. So you have to be certain that victory comes from Allah. And if the person is one of Allah's chosen people, one of Allah's devout worshippers, then Allah will definitely support him. This ayah should be understood in the right context, because this ayah is mentioned in the midst of the ayat which are speaking about the Battle of Uhud. The Battle of Uhud is a beautiful demonstration of the meaning of this ayah. On the Battle of Uhud, Muslims were about 700 people, and they heard that the Meccans are coming to attack Al-Madinah with an army of 3,000 warriors, well armed and well prepared. But they didn't have a problem with that, because a few months before there was the Battle of Badr, and on the Battle of Badr, the Meccan army was 3 times greater than the Muslims' army. They outnumbered them 3 times. Muslims were only 314, and the Meccans were approximately 1,000 warriors, having their horses, their camels, their arms and weapons. While the 314 Muslims had only 2 horses on that battle, and they were not ready to fight. But the outcome was amazing. Allah the Almighty granted Muslims victory on that battle to the point that they utterly defeated the Meccan army. And they captured 70 of them as prisoners of war. And they collected plenty of war spoils. So they believed, as Allah the Almighty said and stated in the Quran, كَم مِّن فِئَةٍ قَلِيلَةٍ غَلَبَتْ فِئَةً كَثِيرَةً بِإِذْنِ اللَّهِ. It's very often that a smaller party defeated a greater party in number, in preparation, in arms. But it's all by bi'idhnillah, by the leave of Allah. In tansurullaha yansurkum. If you are devout worshippers, if you commit yourself to the deen of Allah, if you are one of awliyaullah, then definitely Allah will not forsake you. Allah will give you victory. Allah will make you victorious, and no one can overcome you. What happened on the Battle of Uhud? The Prophet ﷺ did not worry about the number, that they were much lesser than their opponents. 700 Muslims confronting 3,000 mushrik. So quickly the Prophet ﷺ prepared the army and distributed the troops, and he appointed 50 archers on a mountain which is known until today as the Mount of the Archers, or Jabal al-Rumah. And he ordered them not to leave this location under any circumstances. He said it literally: whether you see us winning and collecting the war spoils, do not think the war is over. Stay where you are to protect our rear, the rear of the Muslim army. Even if you see us utterly defeated and torn apart, do not leave your location. Once the battle started, the 700 Muslims again utterly defeated the Meccan army with the 3,000. The Meccans had to drop all their belonging and they ran off. They escaped. They left the battlefield. So the Muslims started collecting the war spoils, claiming that the battle is over. The archers decided, 40 of them, 40 out of the 50, decided to descend so that they can join their Muslim brothers in collecting the war spoils. They disobeyed the command of the Prophet ﷺ, and they failed the entire army as a result. That was a practical lesson to learn that victory comes only from Allah. If you're obedient to Allah, if you're obedient to His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah is not asking you for much. Rather, He said in the other ayah, وَأَعِدُّوا لَهُمْ مَا اسْتَطَعْتُمْ. When it comes to the military preparations, as much as you can. Because victory is not because of the weapons, because of the numbers, because of the machines, rather because of faith and belief. Again, this ayah is for all of us brothers and sisters. It is not only concerning the companions on the battle of Uhud. إِن يَنصُرْكُمُ اللَّهُ فَلَا غَالِبَ لَكُمْ. If Allah supports you and gives you victory, no one can ever overcome you. وَإِن يَخْذُلْكُمْ فَمَنْ ذَا الَّذِي يَنصُرُكُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِهِ. But if He forsakes you, a rhetoric question, who else can support you other than Him? None but Allah. May Allah the Almighty support us always and grant us victory. Ameen. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.